Well, I am delighted to be here this morning with Jeanette Floyd and Zena James. And we had a wonderful email from Jeanette this week that shared some exciting news. And so she agreed to sit with us for a few minutes and talk about it in person. So welcome and thank you for being here, Jeanette.
Oh, so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I really enjoy this group. So you guys have been a catalyst.
And that's what I love most when we're a catalyst. So please, the stage is yours. Give us the whole story.
Okay, so there was a challenge that I had read on one of my Facebook groups. And she said, for all of you ladies who have artwork for Black History Month, go out and start calling your city halls, your libraries, your museums, and see if they would like to present your work for Black History Month. And before that, months ago, I had seen this little plaque that said, make the call, send the email, ask someone, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So anytime I see something like that, I say, okay, let's just try it. So I did. I sent out a message to a beautiful library here in Orange County. It's called Mission VA Hill Library. And I said, I don't know if you guys would be interested, but I would love to, put up a couple of quilts for Black History Month. And I sent some along, and within literally 5 minutes, I got an email back, said, absolutely, we want to talk to you. When can you meet? And then we met last Saturday. It literally was boom, 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 boom. So we met last Saturday. I brought in some of my stuff and she said, I want to give you every single wall we have here in the library. And then she asked me, she said, can I keep your work longer than February? And then she said, I have some arts councils here in California I would like to get you involved with. We're going to do a huge spread on you, advertise, do interviews. And all I could say was, yes. Instead of the, no, well, you don't really, it was like, no, it was like, yes, okay, yes, okay. And when I got to the car, I did a jig. But I always listen to something my husband says. He says, you're sitting on a no now. So, you might as well try. And that is exactly what I did. And it was because of all the things you all had taught for the last few years about, the confidence, getting out there, stretching yourself, trying new things, look at something a little differently. And when I saw that challenge, I felt confident enough to say, hey, my work is good enough. And I think it should be exhibited. And that was much different than 3 years ago. So that's because of you guys really pushing us to treat ourselves, act like, and become the artists that we are. And so that's how that got started. And then literally after that call, I received a call from my church. They have a group called Co-Create. And so I did a series with them this summer. And then, they asked me, would I be the featured speaker? They go out into the different venues within the cities to show art and show people it's okay to show your art. And so they asked me to be the featured speaker and artist for last Friday of this month and talk about my artwork. So I was like, yes, okay.
Congratulations.
That's incredible. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, I was like, there's just no way I would have even thought of feeling like I was capable of this had I not taken these courses. Seriously, there's just no way.
We do appreciate that. And I think that what happens when you get on a track like this is that, I read somewhere one time that you can't ask the universe for something and then turn your back on it. It's going to happen and you better say yes and be ready.
Yes, be ready.
Great example of that. Well, it's wonderful to be able to hear you describe it. Visuals are worth a million words, and the excitement when this kind of stuff starts to happen is really palpable.
It is.
Well, we are going to add the images of your work that were in the exhibition catalog. Mm-hmm. But I was wondering if we could just kind of wrap up by having you read the poem that inspired the sunflower and tell that story if you don't mind.
Sure. So the sunflower is hugely representative of my life and my relationship with my dad. He passed away June 7th in 2020. And I was his caregiver. And so I was the one helping him transition on top of everything else that was going on. And then that's when life just took a nosedive, literally. We caught COVID. My husband was hospitalized. I was home with COVID, couldn't get to the hospital. And then I lost my job. So everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And I was laying on the couch and just looking at things right on TV. And this poem came up. And literally, I was in an ugly cry because it just meant everything that represented my dad to me. And I had not grieved him. I had not even started crying or doing anything else you would think is normal for the grieving process. I was numb. And when I saw that, I was like, okay. And so I happened to have a panel years ago. I purchased it and pulled it up and went, this is perfect. It's my dad. And it was that of a sunflower. Mm-hmm. And that was the first thing that I can, my memory of him when I was little. He taught me how to grow sunflowers. And so throughout the years, we would talk about flowers and things like that. And when I saw it, I saw I remember the poem, I remember the panel, and I went, this is a perfect homage to my dad. And so that's how it was it got together. And this is my first time thread sketching. So I hadn't really done that before. And I went, it's perfect. And all I could remember was thinking about the memories of my dad as I was doing it. So it was very meditational, cathartic, and just I was pouring out everything into this.
I think textile work, making in general, we're so fortunate when we make things because of what it helps us process in so many ways.
Oh my gosh, I could not believe it was almost like transforming. It wasn't me, it was just whatever it was I was going through was coming through my hands and into this fabric and onto that thread work. And I experienced a little bit about that, but this was just so deep and so meaningful that I was like, I get it. Now I get it, why people do this. I get it. Because I'll never forget that. It was very transforming for me.
I love that. Well, I would love for you to share the poem with us, if you will.
Okay, I will try. The poem is by Merritt Malloy, and it's called Epitaph. I'll start off. So it says, when I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live on in your eyes and not your mind. You can love me by letting hands touch hands, and by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. And that's by Merritt Malloy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's been a really celebratory, powerful thing to sit with you for a few minutes, Jeanette, and we're very grateful. Thank you for being with us today.
So glad to do it. I wish you all the best. Take care.
Thank you, Jeanette.